stop this everyday murder which Russia does in Ukraine.
All right, and moving ahead, viewers, US President Donald Trump has congratulated the leaders of Thailand and Cambodia after the two countries agreed to a ceasefire aimed at ending deadly border clashes. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump praised what he called a rapid and fair agreement, saying the outcome was fast and decisive. He added that Washington was proud to have helped facilitate the ceasefire. The agreement comes after weeks of tensions along the disputed region on the border, with clashes reportedly killing dozens on both sides. Trump also used the moment to highlight what he described as his role in resolving international conflicts. He further criticized the UN as ineffective, citing ongoing conflicts, including the war between Russia and Ukraine, as evidence of its limited impact. All right, viewers, crucial statements now coming in as far as the ceasefire on the Cambodia-Thailand conflict is concerned, with Trump saying that US has done what the UN should be doing, and the US has in fact become the United Nations. He also says the United Nations must start getting active and involved in world peace. As far as the ceasefire was concerned, he said it was fast and decisive, as these situations should be. Trump's post on Truth Social on your screens, viewers, Trump of course taking claim once again for the ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand that are engaged in a border conflict, which has displaced at least 1 million people so far and killed dozens on either sides of the border. Trump said that Washington was proud to have helped facilitate the ceasefire, and in fact this agreement comes after weeks of tension along the border. Trump also used the moment to highlight what he described as his role in resolving international conflicts. Crucial statement there coming in from US President Donald Trump. And I'd now like to welcome Satoru Nagao, who's fellow at the Hudson Institute in Tokyo. Thank you very much, Dr. Nagao, for joining me here at NewsX World. Dr. Nagao, Trump has effectively gone on to say that the US has actually become the UN, and the UN should become more active in restoring world peace. How do you see that statement?
US and the UN is completely different. Now the UN is meaningless and the United States is still influential. And in this case, in case of the mediation, the Trump administration focusing on very much, but at the same time, in case of the Thailand and Cambodia, indeed the US intervention invites China's intervention. So in case of the July, the ceasefire has happened, but that time the US and China both sides joining the negotiation. But in the October, only President Trump arranged a ceasefire joint statement between Thailand and Cambodia. So China is deeply frustrated, and China pushed Cambodia to attack Thailand again. So that's why this time President Trump tried to show the very polite stance. The first time that he arranged, this time President Trump's pressure is based on tariff. But this time he did not say the tariff-related issue, just wait and intervene and talk, and he also invites China and talk with it. And finally, the local government, Thailand and Cambodia, agree themselves the ceasefire. So that's why the view from this, President Trump's intervention is case-by-case basis, but contributing. United Nations role is very limited, nearly nothing in this case. So that's why we do not need to worry about the United Nations, unfortunately. And in case of ASEAN, ASEAN is also the limited role this time. So that's why, indeed, this time we are talking about 4 actors Thailand, Cambodia, and the US and China, they are the main actor to arrange Thailand and Cambodia ceasefire. So President Trump's role is still influential, but a case-by-case basis, it contributes or the polite manner is better. That is happening, I think. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Nagao, just another question with you. Although one day has passed, do you foresee the two countries restoring the ceasefire for at least 72 hours for further progress to be made thereon?
The program itself is exist, territory issues exist, but so there is a possibility it will restart the battle. But at the same time, in case of Cambodia and Thailand, indeed the territorial issue they are competing is not so very vital for their national security for both Thailand and Cambodia. So that's why indeed the battle itself is meaningless for both of them. But this time, despite Cambodia's military is weaker than the Thailand, the Cambodia side provokes Thailand. So that's why the Thailand thinks they need to punish Cambodia. And so a certain level of punishment has happened by Air Force or naval ships, which is Cambodia do not have. So that's why Cambodia do not want to continue the battle, and Thailand has satisfied the punishment. So that's why the ceasefire has happened. So this means that certain level of the time, certain time they continue the ceasefire. There's a high possibility that. But at the same time, the territorial issue itself hasn't solved yet.
Yeah.
So that's why in the near future, maybe they will start skirmishes. That could happen, I think.
Yeah, so what's really needed then for the territorial issue to be resolved?
Of course, territorial issues will be resolved through the negotiation and clear lines they should set up. But in case of the territorial issue, it is very difficult to set up the clear line. For example, in case of the Russia and China, what happens when the Soviet Union has collapsed and Russia is very, very, very weak, that time they agreed because China has advantage and Russia is a very disadvantaged situation. So that's why this has happened. So in case such kind of one side is very strong, another side is very weak. In this case, territorial issue could be solved in some case. But in case of Thailand and Cambodia, both sides still survive and a strong country relatively. So that's why there is a huge possibility they can solve this just now. So territorial issue itself will continue, I think.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Nagao, for joining me in this discussion. But I requested to stay on as we proceed ahead. Let's also tell you that key talks are expected between Trump and Netanyahu